or week 0 of the weekly training videos. This is going to look at some scrimmages as we gear up for the beginning of the regular season. Before we dive in, let's remember and just refresh the criteria for an illegal blindside block. The defender must be in a position where he cannot see the blocker coming. The hit must not be initiated with open hands. And the hit must be forceful and include a shoulder dip, thrust, drive, or a launch. All 3 criteria have to be met. If you just have 1 or 2, then you do not have a blindside block. So you got to have all 3. You could also include that a hit must be outside the free blocking zone. Because remember, if you have anything inside the free blocking zone, so for clipping, is still legal. But these apply outside the free blocking zone. So let's look at one, or let's look at a few rather. This hit's going to happen near the bottom of the screen when the QB rolls out here. You can see this guy, he's already gearing up, and he's going to deliver the hit right there. That's one thing, remember, we want to look for. We've always talked about look for the player with the brick in his hand. Same thing here. He's got it, the brick right there, and he's going to deliver an illegal hit. Wing guy throws it. Deep guy could probably help out on that. Let's look at another one here on the line of scrimmage. Right there. It's going to be delivered on number 24. This is at the line, but if we go back and look, pre-snap, we have a quarterback in shotgun. So as soon as the ball snapped right here, free blocking zone has disintegrated. Now, one key note here on this, the runner had faked the handoff. So this is a judgment call by the officials. If in your opinion or your judgment you deem that he's still carrying out the fake, then this would be a legal hit. However, if you deem that he's not carrying out the fake, or maybe he's defenseless in some manner, then this would be an illegal hit. Your judgment on the officials. This particular play is a little iffy. We can support it either way. This is going to be a hit that I think is legal. Watch number 25 here at the bottom. And again, we want to look for the guy going against the grain of traffic. I think this hit is legal because it doesn't meet all 3 criteria. The key one here being the first one. I think at the last second the defender sees it, and he kind of gives a little dodge out of the way there. And because he dodges, it's more of a glancing blow. But you definitely, radar should have been lifted here. But again, I think this one was legal because the defender dodges at the last second. Here we're going to have another one that I think is legal. This one is more pertaining to, it happens right after a play is ended. We got an interception. Runner's down right there, and then we get a hit. The only thing that would be close to illegal in this hit would be if it's a half second later, I think maybe you got a late hit. But it's pretty simultaneous with the defender going down. Full speed here, we can't ask a kid to just slam on the brakes on a dime. But half second later, we probably got a late hit. This is legal blindside block wise because it doesn't meet all 3 criteria. You got one, defender doesn't see it coming. But I think you got open hands here. Puts his hands out right there at the last second. So I think we have an open hand hit that would make that hit legal. This one I think we actually call a block in the back. But it could be close to a blindside block. I don't think it is though. I don't think it meets the 3rd criteria of a forceful hit. More of a glancing blow. Kind of hit check some maybe. So that's one we could probably let go. So now let's look at some defenseless players. Remember, defenseless player was also not really a rule change this year, more clarified. But remember, for defenseless player, you still have to have an illegal hit. A player being defenseless alone does not make him illegal to hit. It's got to be an illegal hit. So this player meets the criteria because he is a receiver in the act of catching before he established himself. But you have a legal hit. It looks like he wraps him up. Anytime we have attempt at a wrap up or straight up wrap up, you're probably going to have a legal hit. Because if they're attempting to wrap up, then they're not trying to deliver a blow that would be outside the realm of legal. Let's look at it closer. Yeah, see, wraps up. It's a good clean hit. That's actually a nice form tackle. So even though the receiver is in the act of catching a ball and establishing the catch, still would just let it go. This is another one on a receiver. He's going to be in the act of receiving. Here you don't have as clean of a wrap up, but you got to attempt at a wrap up. So again, this is one we will let go. Anytime they attempt to wrap up like that, we want to let it go. So now let's look at, this would be mechanics on the goal line, particularly with deep officials. Here we're going to have one right at the top of the screen. Remember with deep guys, you want to stay on the goal line until it's no longer threatened. Here we're moving off the goal line while it's still threatened. Right about there, we're already moving off the goal line. And we're going to have a play at the goal line or near it. So we need to stay off the goal line here, back up to about right here, and look in where you can see all this action. We got a flag thrown for DPI. It's going to come from the wing guy. If the deep guy had stayed in position there, I think we could have had a better look at it. I have another play here where the deep guy leaves the goal line too soon. We're not only leaving the goal line, but we're also coming onto the field. I want you to stay on the goal line. Alright, just go ahead and stay on the goal line throughout the entirety of this play, because the end line is not going to be threatened. The most important line in the field right now is the goal line. So go ahead and stay on that goal line, back up off the pylon a little bit, and when you give this touchdown signal, you actually want to be outside the pylon. Here we're going to have an example of the deep guys doing a good job of staying on the goal line. Right there's where the play happens. Both deep guys are still on the goal line because you see the play was right there. So the goal line is still the most important line. It's the one that's still threatened. You got the deep guy, the side judge moving off right now, but he's really just trying to get in position to see that play better. Or I think to see the catch. But when all the initial action is going on, right there, we still got both officials at the goal line. See the side judge is in a good stance to look down on the goal line and see what's going on. This is actually going to be the very next play. And again, we have the deep guy. We're going to play at the goal line, and the deep guys, particularly the side judge, do a good job of staying on the goal line. Now see, the receiver, he's a little further back in the end zone, but we still want to stay on the goal line because right now, particularly we got one receiver right here, the goal line is a threat. The end line is something we can get to if we need to. 6-man crew, it's not going to be perfect, but the goal line at the moment is still the most important line on the field. So that's one we need to stay on. Officials here do a good job. This play is going to be another good one by the official. This one by the deep guy and the wing guy. Corner right there in the end zone. Both officials are in great position to see this play. Remember, starting position inside the 10 for a deep guy. Start out here outside the goal line, and then as the offense comes to the line, you can adjust between these two pylons. Adjust to where you need to be as long as you stay outside that widest receiver. Here, you're gonna have to play in the end zone. Back it up a little bit. Here's where the catch is made. We got deep guy looking at the end line, wing guy looking right here. Both are in great position. See the deep guy waits, make sure the receiver establishes a catch before he goes up. So great job by both officials. This is a punt. Probably got a receiver standing on the 10. The mechanics manual doesn't say anything about what we do if a deep receiver on a scrimmage kick is on the 10. So if you still want to be in your normal positions as a deep guy, you can. So you would have the field judge right here, 5 yards behind. Probably go ahead and back the side judge up right here. If both deep guys want to get on the goal line, if receivers on the 10 or inside, that's perfectly fine. That's up to them. But we do need to have both deep guys on the goal line right now. They should already be there because you potentially could have a play at the goal line. So once you see that the goal line is going to be a threat, go ahead and book it toward the goal line. Here we have a play that could be better officiated. We're gonna have a DPI call. Actually, this is wrong play. Never mind. What we want to talk about on this play is these two receivers right here. We want one clearly on and one clearly off. We probably back this deep guy up a little bit because we don't want someone in no man's land. You want receivers clearly on or clearly off. This is the one I'm talking about. We could officiate a little bit better. So we're gonna have a play right here. We got a DPI call. We got an interception. But on this interception, we do a poor job of the reverse mechanics. So what we should have right here, the interception, this wing guy should be booking it to the goal line. And this deep guy is going to come behind and clean up everything. But here we got the wing guy. He throws the pass. When he throws the flag, and it looks like he kind of stops officiating. So when all this is going on, we luckily have White Hat who's at the goal line. But we really need to have the wing guy right here booking it down and the side judge following. Side judge has got everything up until the 2, and the wing guy would have the 2 and in. This is a good play to review horse collar fouls on. Right there, we're going to have us close to a horse collar. Now, I don't think we have a horse collar here, but it's a good film to review the horse collar on. I think he gets him in the middle of the jersey and pulls him down. Plus, he pulls him down on top of him, and you already have a defender right here engaged. So we wouldn't have a horse collar foul here. But again, it's a good one to review the rule on. Last play right here, this one's going to involve a backward pass. Now, I think this play is designed to be a backward pass. It looks like it's more lateral. Now, in the rule book, we don't have any such thing as a lateral pass. Passes are either forward or backwards. So if it's straight across like that, let's go ahead and punch it forward. Now, the referee does punch it back, and as you can see, he's got displayed his back. So everyone in the stadium knows this is a backwards pass, which is fine. But moving forward, and mechanically, we did okay here. But just from a rule standpoint, if it's close like that, just go ahead and punch it forward. See, they're on the same line, so it's by definition more of a lateral pass. But in the rule book, we don't have lateral. It's either forward or backwards. That's it for this week. We'll try and put another one out next Wednesday, reviewing film from this week. So good luck out there, guys, and remember to stay in the rule book.